Hey,
Sup?
what you up to?
Not much.
Looking?
Into.
You look familiar.
Who dis?
Bye.
Sounds great.
Queer Talanoa, the podcast series, is brought to you by the global queer people of Fiji in an effort to share the stories of queer Fijians and our experiences. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed belong to the hosts and guests of each episode and do not necessarily represent the entire queer community of Fiji.
Hey, we are black. No, I'm kidding. It's Avi here again. We're starting our next podcast. It's 9 a.m. in Spain, and we have on the line Noel.
Hey guys, it's Noel from Auckland, and it is currently 7 p.m. And we're really excited to bring you episode 2.
Yes, we are. We have a lot of exciting things today. We try to keep it simpler, didn't we, Noel? We're
Yeah.
going to talk a little bit about ourselves because we are like narcissistic like that. And no kidding, but you guys deserve a chance to get to know a little bit about ourselves, right? To get a background
Yeah,
on us.
exactly. So you must be thinking, who are these guys that are just going on and on YouTube and stuff? So we just thought it's time that we delve a little bit deeper into who
Yeah,
we are so you can get to know us before we get more people to join us on the podcast.
yeah, of course. So, so Noel, you remember the last episode? I said something. I think it was along the line of how many people know the real you, right? The real
Right.
you that you know yourself like completely, right? So, how many of these people, your friends or people around you, know the real you? So to start off this topic, I'm gonna ask you a very simple question.
All right.
How was growing up?
Hmm. That's not a very simple question.
Isn't it? It sounds simple, but it gets
So,
you thinking,
yeah.
doesn't it?
How was growing
Take your
up? Okay.
time.
It was weird actually. Like it was one minute you're just a kid, right? And then suddenly you kind of get this vibe from people around you that maybe you're different or you get treated in a different way. And I definitely felt that because even though I was born and raised in Auckland, New Zealand, but
Yeah.
we were definitely like hard out into the Indo-Fijian culture and stuff. So growing up was a
Yeah.
lot of going to pujas and prayers and stuff. We going to Ram Navami, which is the 9-day Hindu festival, which just happened in Auckland a couple of weeks ago.
I
Um,
remember that you told me because you went a couple of nights, yeah?
yeah, I did. I went a few nights. It was so weird. It reminded me of being a child again because a lot of family friends were there, people that I grew up with, and it was a really strange feeling to be back in that environment. Um,
Jesus, I mean, I don't remember the last time I went to a Ram Navami.
yeah,
It was I think 7 years ago, 8 years ago when I was back in Fiji.
yeah,
It's a different kind of feeling when you're sitting at the puja and you're listening to all that kirtan and bhajan and stuff, and you're
yeah.
just like, oh my god, I'm
It's
in
weird,
peace with
eh?
myself.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm definitely like I'm more like a spiritual type of person. I think
Same,
it's just
same.
sometimes it's the cultural thing that kind of gets me down because I'm like when I was sometimes even as a kid I'd be sitting there and I would feel really anxious being around those people just because inside you feel like you're a little bit different to everyone
Of
else,
course,
right?
because you
And
always know.
exactly. And now, as an adult, you're much more aware of why you're different because of your sexuality, and you keep wondering, like, the people that are sitting around you, are they going to treat you differently if they were to know that about you? Will they take that on board and be all right with it, or will they um, just start mocking you or something and treat you like crap? And it's
Oh
a
yeah,
very like real feeling to have.
I don't think people out there understand how much pressure we have on ourselves to act a certain kind of way, to talk a
Yeah,
certain kind of way, to make sure that no one notices or we don't say anything that someone else like picks up on our little mannerisms and stuff,
yeah,
just because we don't want them to know we are homosexuals, we are gay. um
exactly.
and it's not that we don't want them to know that we are gay, we just don't want that kind of repercussions, the negative,
Yeah,
um those negative repercussions that people are gonna just like give to us freely. So uh
exactly. Yeah. And it's not
Why
just that
bother?
we sort of feel like it's not just that you're individually going to have the repercussions, it actually goes on to affect your family because,
Family
but
more
it's
than
like
anything.
culturally, it's all about your family, right? And it's not just about you. Unfortunately, like we don't prioritize just ourselves individually, but we have to think about like our parents, our siblings, so on and so forth.
Yeah,
And so that's a pretty heavy sort of thing. That's the sort of environment that I grew up in, and I'm sure you would have grown up in the same thing, and everyone that's listening from Fiji is going through that as well.
I have this vivid memory of me being 5 or 6 years old, and my cousin who used to live in Fiji back then, she lives in States now.
Hmm.
Um, she's a year older than me, so she was probably 7 at the time. So I wore her dress. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I wore her dress, and
was it a pretty dress?
it was a pretty dress. It was a Barbie dress.
Barbie
Yeah,
dr pink.
no, a yellow
Oh.
Mandraji. Girl, represent. Um, No, no, it was a yellow dress. I remember that, and I wore that dress, and I was like parading around and like showing it to my parents and mom and them. And I saw
Yeah.
the look on my mom's face. It was so like that look. I would never want to see my mom's face ever again. And she was just
Oh,
take that off.
yeah.
Don't ever put that on. Made me feel bad because come on, what would I know? I was 5 years old, man. You know,
Yeah. Just a
I
kid.
w- just a kid. Uh, so these little things made me realize that maybe I'm a little different from everyone around my in my family.
Hmm.
Um, Different in a sense because I never belonged, nor
Right.
did I have examples like we talked about it in the last episode. We didn't see people like us. You know what I'm trying to say here? That it was
Yeah.
hard not
Oh
having
yeah.
to see the next person and have nothing in common with that person.
Oh, totally. And then, I feel like after sort of childhood and stuff, you move into school, you're a teenager, young adult sort of thing. And then that's a whole other side of who we are, isn't it? Who you conduct yourself as in high school and university. It's this whole other story.
Fucking hell, it doesn't get better, does it? We just need to keep struggling with these demons every stage of our fucking lives. I remember in when I was in primary school, because I was the straightest person out there. I was friends with these boys who were these soccer boys who played football, played soccer, and I was into it as well. I was with them. I was like the star, trying to like
Yeah.
have girlfriends because my friends were having
Uh,
girlfriends.
are you
Um,
serious?
Serious dude, I had like 3 or 4 girlfriends in primary school, and I still have I'm in
In
touch with
primary
them. They
school?
girl, I started young.
Uh,
Um, struggle was real. No,
yeah.
um, no, no, no. But really, like those little puppy love where you take people out on a date, go to a cinema with a girl. You do like that would be the biggest deal at that time when you are like 11 or 12.
Right.
Um, so I started following my friends around and doing everything that they were doing because obviously my friends were straight.
Yeah.
And you know what? To think of it, and it's gonna be funny, Noel. I don't know if you had the same situation. I think I know that I'm gay. I know, and I'm really confident about my homosexuality because
Right.
I feel attracted to men, and
Hmm.
obviously there's nothing wrong with that. But in I had a girlfriend, okay, and I honestly do think I had strong feelings for her.
Right.
And if things hadn't gone the way it had for me, thank God it
Yeah.
did, I would have
Yeah.
ended up like being with her forever, maybe. You know,
Oh my God, really?
that would have been the life for me.
Yeah.
But come think about it at that stage in your life. What did you want? What was the purpose in life at that stage? Because you were filled in your head. You need to have a
Yeah.
wife, have a family, have some kids. You know,
Hmm.
this
And
was
go to
the
Ramnomi.
steps. Go to Ramnani, do the kirtan and bhajan.
Yeah.
You know, that was the life, and that was my aim. But that has changed, bro.
Well, I remember similar, like in high school, I think I tried to play soccer when I was in primary school. My dad sort of forced me to go. It was the most
Emphasis on the word tried.
tried, it was the worst experience of my life.
You could have
Um,
just said I
I
played soccer.
I tried to play. Okay, I tried so hard and it's horrible. I don't know why people even like that sport. But then I tried one more time in high school and I think I lasted maybe 10 minutes, and I was like, "Fuck this, I'm out."
Who the
Um,
fuck is gonna run after balls?
I,
No, no. Oops.
plural. No, but
Oops.
I did play hockey though. Hockey was pretty fun, but soccer, no, my feet are too big for that shit. Um,
Okay, okay. You don't need to give those kind of details on this podcast, okay?
just thought I'd slip that in there. Um, but I okay, so in year 11 I did meet a girl, and we became really good friends. Remained friends, best friends almost, till Form 7. In Form 7, so year 13 for us, we sort of became a thing. Um, and honestly, like, there were definitely feelings there, maybe not to the level that you're sort of saying about your one, but like there were feelings there, and I really felt like, and I liked her so much. Um, Obviously, like, once high school ended, we actually just sort of realized we're very different people, not just in
Right.
terms of sexuality, but just generally who we are and what we
Yeah.
wanted out of life.
Mm-hmm.
We got married very quickly after high school, and she's very happy now as well. But that was sort of, felt myself being pushed into that path,
Right.
and yeah, obviously, I'm very happy that I didn't let myself get swayed into.
I had my first boyfriend when I was in university,
Right.
in uni in Suva. And I was probably 17, 18 at the time, while my boyfriend was 24, 25.
Yeah.
And that boyfriend of mine was training me for this life.
Oh.
I was in a relationship with him for 3 years, 2, 3 years, I think, 3 years.
Yeah.
And then like he used to tell me this that okay, no matter what we are doing right now, our
Uh-huh.
life is gonna be this. We're gonna get married, have babies, and look after our parents. This
Right.
is what he was gonna do. So all these years like investing in a relationship, falling in love, at the back of my mind I know, oh, I had like forget falling in love with this guy. I have to leave his ass and then just continue with my life, pretending that I'm not in love with him or I'm someone else. Hmm.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. But you know what? I was almost brainwashed into this, man.
Mhm.
I almost was like, okay, maybe this kind of life. I have no other option. This is the life for me.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
fuck, bro.
I mean, I yeah, I think we are all going through something like this as well. Like, I remember early 20s, I was very heavily involved in the cultural stuff, going to the mandlis, which is, like a religious group, doing pujas at people's houses every week. I used
Oh
to
yeah.
play the dholak. I was the dholakia for a mandli. Can you believe
Oh
that?
my
Like,
god, that's
the
hard.
playing the drums, yeah, and playing the baja and stuff, and singing kirtans.
I used to do
And
that too.
I
God
that's like a big
damn.
thing. It's like a thing, isn't it? Like, you have to sort of do it, and that's like
Yeah.
leading into the step by step sort of life that we're supposed to live. And I was like, okay, I feel like I'm setting up this path that I don't want to follow. Like, I'm definitely, spiritual and stuff, but I didn't
Like you're
want to
nothing
be,
against it, but you just
yeah,
don't feel like that
that's
you
you.
belong. Yeah.
Exactly.
Now going back to Ram Nome, how was it different from the other years?
This time I sat there, and I just sort of questioned a lot of things. I was like, okay, yeah, I had a good time in terms of the nostalgia, and like that there was a bit of nostalgia because, like I said, I am spiritual. I do enjoy like parts of the religion and stuff like that. So that
Hmm.
was fine. But I did sort of sit there and really question, like, okay, do I have to be here? And what does this, how
What does this
can
mean? Yeah.
what does it mean? And also, like, okay, that is one part of my identity, is the religious and cultural thing. For sure, I'm Indo-Fijian, that's not going to change. But
No.
my question that came up when I was sitting there was, okay, that is one part that's not going to change, but another part of me that's not going to change is my sexuality. And how are these two things going to coexist inside me? Because at the moment, I'm sitting in this prayer hall, and I feel so uncomfortable. How is this going
And you
to
don't want to
be?
feel that way. You know, you
Exactly.
don't really want to feel that way. It's not like you're forcing yourself to feel that way. It's the way you're made felt.
Yes, exactly. And just our perception of what other people's perception of us will be, because they say a lot of the parjariks, or the preacher, they say a lot of things about how you're supposed to be, and this and that, and karma and dharam and all of that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And a big part of that is growing up and eventually getting married to a woman. So for a guy, getting married to a woman and having children, and that's
Yeah.
not something that's necessarily, possible for us. Or
No.
well, it is, but like not in the traditional way.
No, no, obviously not in the traditional sense.
Okay, I'm gonna have like a little like a bitch fit moment right now
Go,
because
man. Have a bitch fit.
okay,
This is what we're
here's my
doing.
little yeah. This is me. This is my bitch fit moment. Okay, so I think I mentioned to you a little while ago. I went to a wedding. Something that happened at the wedding was as they were doing what they do, and the pundit gave a speech, and he said, "So today you two have achieved and completed the one thing that your parents wanted from you, and that was to grow up and get married to each other, and you have done this amazing deed. Congratulations,
Oh
you
my god,
are."
shots fired.
And I just sat
There was like
there
double
like,
homicide, bitch.
oh my God, yes.
Because I was dead.
I just sat there and I was like, okay, just by doing the most simplest thing, this couple was described as having, done something amazing, which
Mm,
we're not allowed to do technically. In Fiji, obviously, gay marriage is not legal,
no.
um, and nor is it widely accepted yet culturally either. So I
Hmm.
just I sat there thinking, okay, that's really kind of shit because although these people are lovely people, they haven't really done. I mean, they just got married. That's all it is, right? They
Right.
just got married. Great.
That's it. What would be interesting, Noel?
Yeah.
Like all these years, if I when back in the days when I went to a wedding, I would never concentrate on what the pandit would say because obviously I was young and I would like be doing young
Yeah.
people thing. So it would be interesting to go to an Indian wedding, actually sit there and listen to the fuck they saying about marriage and actually try to understand it and decipher everything. So if anyone's getting married out there, please invite me. Indian wedding.
I normally don't listen. I don't really pay attention either. Maybe it's just
You
because I'm more older now, so I kind of paid attention, and and also because the couple that was getting married, like I said before, lovely people. I really like them. They're just wonderful, amazing, and I have nothing against them at all. And I do wish
no.
them all the best. But the pundit, like, he really annoyed me. And you're right, paying attention to them. That pundit's been married like 4 or 5 times. He can't say nothing about the sanctity of marriage. Let's be honest,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay. It's pot kettle black. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But that's
Doesn't
the
make
thing,
any sense.
they don't, and then, but the thing is that they get away with saying things like that. One, the pundit was a man, so that's patriarchy, right?
Right.
And the second thing is because they're a priest and they can say what they want.
Oh, but they think they can say what they want, and they think people to this day are very gullible. But
Mm.
no. What did you wear to the Ramnomi? That's like a really
Um,
important question. Okay.
okay, it is. My fashion sense is really shit, eh? Like it's
Oh,
pretty
I told you so
poor.
many times. You need to go shopping with me.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember I literally borrowed your clothes that time we went out
Y'all borrowed my
that night?
borrowing clothes thing. Man, Zoro borrowed my clothes as well.
Yeah.
Borrowing clothes thing with me has been has been haunting me since primary school, bro. All my
Yeah.
friends has borrowed clothes with me in primary school, high school, university, and then here in Europe. You guys, you fucking
Yeah.
stole clothes. Zoro took
I
clothes back
needed
with him to Fiji.
Oh my God, he has some of my clothes too from when we hung out in Fiji. We went out clubbing once and he literally has like one of my favorite singlets. If you're
Right,
listening to the Z, like you better have that
dude.
when I come and visit.
Dude, he posts his stories and like Instagram posts and stuff. I'm like, bitch, take off my shirt. Where the fuck? I thought it was in my wardrobe. Like, what the fuck is he doing in Fiji? And my jacket? You took my jacket as well.
He took the jacket. Oh my
He took the
God.
jacket. He took the jacket we were wearing on in
Oh
Madrid. Oh
my
my god,
Yeah, but the thing is, he wears things and it looks so good on him. I cannot
he
pull off
does.
things that he
Oh come
does.
on, you bitch. You are so tall. So anything on you looks really nice.
Oh,
Uh,
please.
Compared to you and Zoro, I'm the shortest one, and Zoro obviously Zoro is a beautiful. He looks beautiful.
Oh
So,
my
but
God.
the good thing
Yeah.
is that our clothes all fit each other. Like we all
Yeah,
fit
yeah.
into the same
Oh,
same size.
which is good because, like I said, my fashion sense is shit. Like literally to Ram Nomi, I wore like just jeans and shirts and stuff because I was like, what else can I wear? And I don't know like what it is, but like Indo-Fijians in Auckland, like we're really not that adventurous. We don't really, the guys anyway, don't normally wear
No.
like kutas and stuff.
Oh shit! I remember when I was a child, I used to wear kurta pajama a lot. When I used to go
Really?
to this Ram Navami on a Sunday, I used to go to Sai Baba school as well
Yeah.
in Nandi, and then I used to wear like this white kurta pajama with obviously any chance to have a orni, I will do it. Uh,
I did that for Diwali last year.
that's
I wore,
cute, huh?
yeah, I wore a white kurta pajama and I had like the dupatta thingy, whatever it's called. And even the last Diwali when I was over in overseas, I wore like a really nice kurta pajama set thingy, and I've been
I
doing
miss
it
doing
more.
that, man. I miss doing
Yeah,
that. I mean,
it's
obviously, I'm not gonna wear
good.
that here. But
Yeah.
growing up, I remember like you'd think that that like gay guys would have some fashion sense.
I do not.
You don't. Yes, and I back that up. I'm
Oh,
kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
sad.
Like no, no. Really, everybody has their own sense of style.
You know what I really want to say though, like throughout all of this, what something I've really noticed with all of our people over in Fiji, queer siblings over there, what we've talked about, the pressure of growing up and stuff, the way we had to um, behave, etc. A lot of people over there have that pressure, but despite that,
Hmm.
the what I see on Instagram and Facebook and stuff, they're killing it over there. Honestly, when
Yeah.
it comes to fashion, just living, expressing themselves, I see like
Hmm.
our like gay and lesbian and queer trans friends of ours over there. They're killing it. Honestly, I just want to give a shout out to those guys that you're doing such an amazing job. And honestly, I get a lot of inspiration when I see what they do. They're running businesses and making like an amazing life, and
They're
it's
making
just awesome.
something of for they're doing something for themselves. They're making something for themselves as well. So kudos
Exactly.
to these people. Obviously to these people, the only thing I would like to say, there'll be a lot of hate, there'll be a lot of negative criticism, but you know what, you don't care, you just do you and whatever makes you happy.
Exactly. Honestly, and I can say, like, for me, with my journey is that I'm still on the way, like, I'm on the threshold, right? I'm still
Right.
opening myself up. And when I see all of our, like, the friends that I've made who are in Fiji, who are out and proud, who do what they do, even if they're not fully out, like, whatever, they're embraced who they are and they just live authentically. Like, I really draw inspiration from those people so much. I literally live for it when I go on Instagram and I see what they're up to, and I'm like,
It
this
puts a
is
smile on your
awesome.
face.
It really
Yeah.
does.
And it's crazy. I want to commend you as well, Noel, because most of our listeners would probably think that you are out and proud and you are so open about your sexuality, but they need to understand it's hard for you to as well.
Oh yeah.
um, you are not 100% completely out there. So you putting out your story like this, you talking about homosexuality like that is commendable. Is really
Yeah.
commendable as well. And same for the people in Fiji. It's even harder for them to
Yeah.
to even be able to express them in such a close-minded society where no one understands them.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. Honestly, and I guess like just to sort of clarify for like anyone, I mean, there are multiple reasons why it's hard to be 100% out. Like in
of
Auckland,
course,
a lot of the people who are like queer Indo-Fijians, a lot of us are out to a certain extent. If you're not fully out, you're only out to a few people, and it could be something that's job related or career aspirations that sort of have to, make you rein in a lot of your personality, which it kind of sucks.
it
But
sucks.
for now, it is something that we sort of have to deal with. I don't think that's going to be how I'll live, long term eventually. But for now, that is the reality for a lot of us.
It's like see yourself as a rosebud. So each day you open up, your petals open up, and you turn into this beautiful little rosebud, which is
Uh-huh,
open
uh-huh.
and pretty
That
and pink.
that
So
sounds so dodgy.
excuse me, what are you thinking about? I swear to God, Noel,
Oh my God.
listeners, I was talking about roses and flowers.
Oh my God.
But no, yeah, it really it gives you it puts a smile on your face when you see all these things happening in Fiji, all
Hmm.
this content on TikTok and
Hmm.
Instagram, Facebook, and even in our the queer global people of Fiji
Yeah.
page. We
Yeah.
have
Oh
200
yeah.
something members now, man.
It's
Um,
amazing.
You'd think a country like Fiji, with less than a million population, 5 people would be gay there. But come on, 200 people joining our group, coming out there, putting themselves out there is commendable. So
Hmm.
I want to
Hmm.
upload to all the people in Fiji who's struggling with their sexuality, who's struggling with their identity, but still somehow find the strength to be themselves.
Oh, absolutely. Also, like to the admin team, who run Global Queer People of Fiji, a lot. So, some of us, like I said before, some of us aren't actually able to, wave that flag out in the open either because of work commitments and such. And they are still doing what we do, and it's just, really appreciated.
It took me 25 years of my life to actually sit down with my parents and talk about my sexuality.
What was
25
that
years.
like? How did that go down?
Oof, I remember. Oh my god. So I decided to tell my parents, my mom and dad, because obviously it was killing me inside. So as always, how our moms are a little more dramatic than our dads. My mom is very much on the Bollywood side, so I had to be very calculative when I
Yeah.
with my coming out scenario.
Hmm.
So I knew that I had to take my mom to a public place so that she doesn't emotionally blackmail me by crying and stuff. So I took her to Hard Rock Cafe. So shout
Oh
out to
my
everyone
God.
Hard Rock Cafe in Fiji. That was my go-to place as well.
General.
Yes, boo. Me and my best friend Valerie, we used to go there to in Hard Rock Cafe at 5 p.m. every day after work and start
Oh
drinking.
my God. Oh my God. That's a
So
great
that was like
place.
my safe place. So that's why I
Yeah.
decided to take my mom and dad there. So like, okay, let's go there. Let's go in public, sitting outside. I just told them. I just blurb it, like just said it out to them, and I used the word gandu.
Oh
What do
my
you
God.
say, man? What do you say gay is? Like that's the word
I
we know in Hindustani, right?
Yeah, no, that's it. I don't I wouldn't
So I
even
try to
I
make it
wouldn't use it.
normalize it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I used it.
r-
This is it. And you know what
Reclaim.
this means, mom and dad? I try to explain it to them, like how you have feelings for dad and dad has feelings for you. That kind of feelings I cannot have for a female. It just doesn't come to me. I'm attracted to men, and it's nothing
Hmm.
to do with sex only. It's to do with emotions and feelings.
Yeah.
My dad was like, "Okay, I'm gonna order myself a beer." He was like, "Okay, cool, whatever. You talk to your
Fiji
mom."
Gold.
Like, yeah,
Fiji
no,
Bitter.
he Fiji Beta, and I was Fiji Gold. Yeah,
Okay.
and my mom and like my mom, I ordered a hot fudge for her because I remember that. Uh, and she was crying. She was like trying to hold her cry, but she was still crying. And she
Hmm.
said something to me. She's like, "You'll never be able to have like I'll never be able to have grandchildren from you." Like that, it was something that was so important to her.
Yeah.
And I said to her, "You can I can still give you babies, mom. Like I can still have babies if you want. I'll make a baby and I'll give it to you, and you can look after it." Uh, but the point here was that my dad took it well, and my mom, it took her time.
Yeah.
It took her, I think, 2 3 years to come around to this idea. I would after this I've been in relationships. I've been in a very beautiful relationship with my boyfriend for
Hmm.
4 years, and they've come around to the idea whenever they video call from Fiji.
Hmm.
They video call him and they talk to him with their family. So whenever mom
Yeah.
calls, she's like, "Give regards to Adri. How's he doing? Are you bothering him?"
Oh.
Whenever mom talks to Adri, he's like, Please look after my son." These kind of small things. Wow,
Yeah. That's
it does
huge.
affect. That was huge,
That,
but it wasn't the same 5 years ago. You know what I mean? It took
hmm.
time. It took, I needed to educate my parents with time, with patience, because these things that they know and they fight for and they believe in, these are things that they inherited from their parents.
Yeah.
And this is something they learned. They don't know anything better than this. Imagine living and being born in the 50s or the 60s, and in a very hetero, um, normative society. uh,
Yeah.
all these things that been fed to you is about only this and nothing more than this. So my parents didn't know anything more than that. So I had to
Yeah.
actually have the responsibility of nicely educating my parents of what sexuality was, and then
Uh-huh.
that it was not a sin. I'm still the same person. I'm your son. Nothing has changed, and they've realized this, and I'm so proud of them. So proud of them.
That's a huge deal, honestly. And you're right. It is something that they've born. raised into that sort of system, that culture, right? And it comes sort of back to like how I was saying with the bandit and stuff. What he said at that wedding was, this is the steps you have to do in life, and that's what our parents grew up learning. And
Yeah.
that's all that they know. And that I'm going through that at the moment myself. Like I'm at the much
Right.
earlier stage than what you are at,
Right.
and it isn't easy at
No.
all. And there's usually very little support. Like other people don't understand it.
No, they don't understand it. You need someone needs to walk in your shoe to understand it. You know,
Yeah,
it, it's it,
100%.
it's even harder to explain it sometimes. But you, it's what's funny. Um, every gay person goes through that. So here, we share a very
Hmm.
common feeling with everyone else. And here,
Mm-hmm.
this is the very topic that brings us together,
Yeah,
and it should bring us
exactly.
together. Okay, so enough about me and my relationship and whatnot. What's new with you?
Oh, um,
Awkward laugh.
there is okay, listen, I am back to living at home in my hometown, the suburb where I grew up as a child, and it is sad. I have been
Hmm.
on I listen, I've been on Grinder. I've been on Grind. That's what I've been doing. I've been looking around, and there's like nothing happening in this
What
small
is
suburb.
even Grinder?
You don't know Grinder?
No.
I mean, okay, it's a hookup app, right? It's a
You're
dating
so
app.
gullible, Noel. I swear to
Uh,
God.
you're a dick.
For the people who no, but maybe like some of the public in Fiji wouldn't know what Grinder is.
That's true.
So, hmm.
That's
so,
true.
so it's a hookup app for gay people, mostly
Yes, yes, gay, trans,
queer.
people, queer people.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so I've been on there talking to people, chatting to people, getting sent random nude pictures from people, getting blocked by people halfway through a conversation. Um,
Really? So, how long have you been in
yeah.
New Zealand for? You've been
So
there
I've been
for.
back 7 months now.
Mm, and pick a
Hmm.
number between 1 and 10.
Okay. 7.
Wow, one per month. Not
Oh
bad.
my God. Not okay. Not. Oh, please. Okay. I'm not that exciting. Okay.
Oh, come on. You said 7. That's a really good number.
It's a lucky number.
Did you get lucky 7 times? Is that true?
No, not seven
No.
times. It's less than 7, I think.
How's the situation in Grinder these days? I can't remember using Grinder.
I don't even have like my face photo on Grinder anymore. I used to before,
Yeah.
when I was in the UK, and before when I lived in Auckland before, like a few years ago, I used to have it up. And it's really weird because sometimes what happens is people take, your face photo and then they pretend to be you so they can talk to other people. And that
Oh
just
yeah,
freaks me out.
catfishing.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I've been through that as well in Fiji just recently during the quarantine last year. One of my
Yeah.
friends sent me a screenshot of a Grinder profile with my photo, and it
Oh
wasn't
my.
even a good photo. Which was really crazy. Like I was really pissed off of that.
Yeah.
But like it happens. I know. Like it was a
Mm,
photo that anyone could have taken out from my Facebook easily
yeah.
and just used it on Grinder. So it's crazy how these things are happening.
Oh yeah. Mine was the other way around. Somebody took my Grinder photo, put it created a Facebook profile, and was talking to people, and sending that photo like of my face, on Facebook Messenger, and then it just so happened that they ended up messaging someone that was a friend of mine, and they were
Oh
like, "That's
shit.
not him." Yeah, and then they told me we reported the profile, had it deleted, but
Right? That's not
yeah.
him. And Noel's, yeah, apparently people were asking me, "Are you back in Fiji?" I was like, "Why were people asking me if I'm back in Fiji?" So apparently someone was using my photo in Suva,
Oh my
in
God.
Grinder. So people were thinking I was back in Fiji. And it's
Yes.
crazy
Oh,
these fucking Grinder stories, man. We have Grinder
it's
these days. We have Tinder. I think
like
people do actually find love in this kind of in
ah,
this application,
these
huh?
hopeless
Especially in
places.
these times when you
Yeah.
cannot even get out of your house because you're quarantined.
Yeah, that's true. It can work. Most of the time, it's pretty crap.
Yeah.
Um, so that's pretty much been me for the past sort of 7 months. Is just yeah, randomly
I
talking to people.
I've always been in long term relationships. So whenever I have a little break after I break up, I do go on Grinder. So
Oh my
once
God.
in a while, once in every 5 years. No.
Oh, All right, guys. Well, that's Avi and I in a nutshell. I really hope you got to know us a little bit better this time. Um, we, I fucking forgot what I was going to say.
Don't cut this off. Put it in. Keep this.
Oh my god. If you have any suggestions for something that you want to hear us talk about, please drop it into the comment section. We will definitely respond.
Yes, and thank you again, everyone, for listening. And like Noel said, this was a little episode about us, and hope to, I don't know what to say, Noel.
Well, we'll see you guys. Oh, you'll hear us next time.
Bye.
Bye bye.
That was great.